that. But it just didn't seem like, and I could have had a bad radio. Obviously I did have a bad radio. But to me, I just wanted something a little bit more power. Like I thought I would be okay with the QRP stuff, but it just isn't enough.
Well, yeah, and that's why I use the 891. I just turn it down to like 40 watts, and then if I really need to turn it up, I can turn it up. But it's like with the Zygu G90, it works good for 20 watts, but if I need more than that, or, I have a QRP radio, there's nothing I can do. What am I going to do? Go out and buy a little add-on amplifier, and now I've got something that takes up more space than, 100-watt HF radio in most cases. So, yeah, it is what it is, but yeah, I don't buy from HRO anymore for that reason. So you ordered the 710 off of Amazon too?
KK6OSR. No, I actually got it from HRO, and I'm in the same boat as you are with HRO. I don't particularly care for going up there either, but I figured the new radio. I couldn't get on Amazon. There's some other places I could have purchased it from, obviously. But kind of having it from a local person, just to get warranty work done on it, something like that, make it a little bit more convenient since it is a new radio. So that's kind of why I went that route. But typically, if I can get it from somewhere else, I get it from somewhere else.
Yeah. Now, did you pre-ordered it? Obviously, right?
No, I just saw it online. And I was like, "It is a cool looking radio." But pretty much checked off all the boxes I wanted. I wanted an SDR, and I wanted something with the APU in it. That way, kind of a radio in a box type scenario. And some of the sound cards, because I like to do digital. Although I have not been able to get FT8 to work on this radio yet. I've tried it on 2 different computers and a Mac, and I just can't get it to work. But yeah, so I just saw it online. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go get this one. And I came close to buying the next one up. Like, what is the FT10D? Is that what it is? It's like the next one up is the hybrid SDR. It's supposed to be a little bit better of a radio, but like $200 more. And from everything I read, people were saying like they are pretty much on par with one another.
Yeah, it's the FTDX10. I think they're both actually considered hybrid SDR radios because they have some sort of a down conversion, whereas like the ICOM 7300 is a direct conversion. So I'm not really sure. I read the literature on your radio, and they're not real clear about it. They say that it's using the legendary technology found in the 101 and the FTDX10. So you kind of have to read between the lines and see what, it really is. But it'll say that it has like a down conversion to something like 70 megahertz, and then, then it's SDR. I don't really know for sure, but I think there's a benefit to doing that. I think that's why they're not copying the way the 7300 is, because supposedly, and I've owned 2 7300s, supposedly the 7300 front end overloads, and I call BS on that, because I think it's just a bunch of nitpicking hams that are just whining about stuff, and they don't even really know what the hell is going on. But and I live in a very noisy area, so I never saw mine overload. Yes, if you put the preamp on, and then it will. But who uses the preamp anyways? I mean, I don't. I actually run my attenuator sometimes. So yeah, I don't know about the FTDX 10. It looks very similar, but I think that this radio that you have, it comes with a speaker, which is usually another extra 150 or something, and it has the video out and all that stuff, and I think the 10 does also. I don't know. I'd be hard pressed to decide between one or the other, really.
I was buying all my equipment too, because I didn't have any equipment, because I sold it all back in the day, so I was already dropping a decent amount of money, so I figured I'll just, save myself $200 and, still have basically a brand new radio that should last me for, forever, for the most part. I was looking at the 7300. I don't know, I like Icon, but I think I've always kind of liked the yaesu line a little bit better. So that's kind of the reason why I went the route that I did. But I was looking at the 7300 there for a little bit.
It's a really good radio. It's got great audio right out of the box, and it's hard to make one sound bad. But they do have some flaws, and there have been a bunch of them with the finals failing from guys doing FT8. And I don't think I think they're cutting too many corners. There's no RF protection on them. My first one, the USB failed in the first 4 months, and I actually ended up trading it to a friend who didn't care, and ended up getting an old yaesu FT102 from him that had been Malcolmized. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but there's a guy in Hollywood, Florida that does all the 102s, and that's an old radio with 3 tubes in the final and 1 driver tube, and the rest is all solid state. So it's got all the bands, 17 meters, 12 meters, and whatnot, but it's a tube, and it has really, really good audio, and there's quite a cult fan base to them. So I actually have 2 of them now, so if that says anything. But the ICOM is kind of like I don't know, it's like a VCR made in the 80s. They were, they're not made to last.
Yeah, I agree. One thing that this radio does do really well though is the digital noise reduction, the DNR on it. It gets a little waterfally when you get it over like a 6 or so. First making the audio sound a little funky. But the digital noise reduction on this radio is amazing. Like it knocks down so much of the static noise from the radio. And you can almost get to make it sound like you're talking to somebody on the telephone.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, the 991A that I have is okay. It's better than previous yaesus I've owned. And I've got this ICOM here, I don't even dare turn it on. It just sounds like you're underwater. But I've got this old Ten-Tec. It's a Ten-Tec Corsair 2. I think it's from 1988. And it has the quietest receive I've ever heard in my entire life. Although it drifts, which is kind of annoying. So, but it's kind of a cool radio. But I've got lots of radios over here. I think I've probably got more than 10. I've got a bunch of yaesus mostly, so I guess I could say I'm probably a yaesu fanboy. I've only got 2 Kenwoods over here, and I've got 3 ICOMs. So I've got a 756 Pro, 746 Pro, and a 706 Mark II-G, and this 940 that I'm on right now, and I've got a TS440. And then for the yaesus, I've got a 101, a 101 Bravo, a 101 ZD Mark III, an FT1, which is a big, huge solid-state radio from 83, a FT102, another FT102, an 891 yaesu, and then the 991, and there's probably some other radio that I can't remember.
Yeah, I have this radio, and I have an old, it's not old, it's a DMR mobile radio that I have sitting on my desk that is I basically use it for listening, and if I want to transmit my hotspot, I guess I do. But it's on this little tiny 3-inch antenna back mount stuff on the face. So I figure if I blow it up, I blow it up. I don't care. And then I have a Kenwood dual band, which was my actual first mobile radio that I bought. I don't even remember what the model is on this thing. It's one of their dual band, and it had an echo link on it. And of course, it doesn't have the model on the faceplate, so I don't know what the model of it is. It's a good radio, though. I really like the radio. that's it. That's my radios. Got a bunch of HCs, got a bunch of Motorola and Hypera. I like commercial HCs.
Yeah, Kenwood had a radio that was able to control the TS-2000 for, what did they call it? Sky Command, which was like, you could, and I've done this with a regular handheld. I don't have the TS-2000 anymore, but you could talk on 2 meters and come out on HF. And the only issue with that was the technician's license and the general class part of the band, etc. But the Sky Command did something differently, and I don't remember exactly, but there was a bunch of those Kenwood ones that did that, and I don't remember the model number. They're very expensive when you see them used still.
Yeah, it's the Kenwood EM Victor W1 Alpha. I had to look it up. Actually, this radio is still, I just brought it up on Amazon, so God knows what prices they're doing, but it looks like this radio is still relatively expensive. This is like a $500 radio, and I bought this radio forever ago. Like I said, it was I think this is the first mobile rig that I bought when I first got my license.
That might be one of the ones that actually works with it, because they were like $600 or $700. It was one that definitely had a number 7 in it. I remember that for sure. I wish Will was on here, because he knows, and he still has a TS-2000. But yeah, I've got a TYT DMR radio over here. Boy, talk about trying to teach an old dog new tricks, man. What a pain in the butt. I had before that an Alinco DMR radio. It was a little easier. The TYT is not nearly as friendly. I've got some Kenwood commercial radios. I've never tried Motorola because they're just so proprietary.
Yeah, they are. I got really great. I got out of detail. I got the DMR. And I still own a repeater that's out here in San Diego. And we converted that Hilltop to DMR several years back. And so yeah, I've been pretty. I can definitely program a radio. I've done Hypera programming, QIT programming, Motorola stuff. It all is pretty much the same for the most part. Like, you know, each company kind of does it a little differently, but they're all pretty much the same. Now I'm working on T25. I got a couple XTS 5000. I got a UHF and a VHF one sitting here on my desk. And so I'm trying to learn how the programming works on those radios, which is still really similar to DMR, but it's quite a bit different.